Welcome back to HAZCAR. It is a good day here in Darlington. Here we go. Lining up on pole today, Kurt Busch, with Trevor Bayne behind, then David Gilliland, Bobby Labonte, Carl Edwards, Regan Smith, Kyle Busch, Paul Menard, Juan Pablo Montoya, Mark Martin, Bill Elliott, AJ Allmendinger, Trevor Bayne, Terry Labonte, Tony Stewart, Robbie Gordon, Martin Truex Jr., David Reagan. Is that him? Yeah, it is him. David Reagan, Joey Logano, Clint Boyer, Dave Blaney, Jamie McMurray, Denny Hamlin, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Ryan Newman, Stevie Wallace, Casey Kane, David Rudiman, Greg Biffle, Brad Keselowski, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Brian Vickers, Michael Waltrip, Kevin Harvick, Travis Kvapil, Brian Keselowski, Marco Sambros, Andy Lally, and Matt Kenseth to round out the field. Sorry, I am coming down with a little something. Darlington, I cannot. Sorry, I haven't got it straight today. I'm coming down with a little something. Darlington is a bit different in comparison to other racetracks because the pit lane is rather slim, which means they gotta line up single file in here. So there is no row 1, row 2, row 3 like we have been doing everywhere else. Excuse me if I am a bit, unable. But, yeah. Here we go, as we wait for the most famous words in all of racing. Here we do. Kurt Busch.
Drivers, start your engines!
As you can see, they're lined up double file now. Kurt Busch lines up on pole. Pace car in hard left onto pit road. And here they go off turn 3 or turn 4. We're underway in Darlington. Good start from Kurt Busch. I think how this is going to go, Kurt Busch is going to get a really good start. He's going to head out until we encounter laps of traffic. Then he might get a bit of a mix-up with Gilliland or even Carl Edwards, who's already climbed up far ahead of where he started. He started 5th. He started around 5th, 6th, 7th, and now he's already at the 4th. So Carl Edwards, he seems to have a fast Ford Fusion there for Roush Racing today. And these guys, they're actually close up together, the top 3 cars. I mean, early tests showed Carl Edwards to have the most speed at this racetrack, but who knows. Here he goes. It looks like he might even get a pass on Trevor Bayne. There he is on the inside. Went for an overtake. They're side by side on the front straightaway. Carl Edwards down the inside the whole way around. He goes in very far deep, but he just has to slow down coming off the corner. Overtaking is difficult here in Darlington. That first turn. It's tough. It's tough to make your way. As Bobby Labonte tries to look to the outside of Carl Edwards, but Carl Edwards has already recovered enough speed to defend against that. Regan Smith up here far up in the field. We don't expect him so far up usually. So that's good for him. But yeah, so far, it's still Kurt Busch leading. Kurt Busch gets that pole added to his stats. He's currently ticking off laps led. End of stage 1, lap 24. End of stage 2, lap 59. So he's just got to hold out his tires for 24 laps. And he should be good. He should be able to take home the stage win already. I think it's pretty much done. For P2, though, Trevor Bayne and David Gilliland take it side by side. Trevor Bayne tries to get far ahead of David Gilliland, and it looks like he's gonna do it, but no, he has to slow down that low lane on the back on the turn 2. But yeah, Trevor Bayne gets ahead of David Gilliland, and I think Carl Edwards is also gonna get around him here. No, he's gonna go wide instead of trying to make a low lunge like Trevor Bayne just did, and that's gonna give Bobby Labonte room on the inside, but Labonte slips back with that dirty air coming off of his left rear quarter panel. Trevor Bayne and Carl Edwards, the fight is on. But I mean, this could be a multi-way championship battle. It doesn't have to be between the two, but I mean, these two are right up next to each other. Finally, they're looking to make some moves on each other. They're really looking to be in a position where they can make moves on each other for, you know, potential championship. Here we go. Bobby Labonte on the inside of Carl Edwards, and Trevor Bayne on the inside of Kurt Busch for the lead. Yeah, those forwards, they seem to be real fast. As Trevor Bayne on the back stretch here, he had to slow down. He didn't want to hit Kurt Busch, but maybe into turn 3, just maybe, he can get the edge on him. There he goes, as they're side by side again, and Trevor Bayne looks like he's going to make a move for the lead, but he's still side by side with Kurt Busch. I think this is where he's going to get him. Yep, there we go. Trevor Bayne leads in Darlington, and I think he's going to run away, if anyone. He's got the speed more than anyone else, so I think he's going to be able to run away. But these 4 guys, these 3 Fords and that 1 Dodge Charger with shades of a Toyota Camry in the form of Bobby Labonte and a Chevy Impala, just barely keeping up in the form of Regan Smith. So we got 6 guys really competing for this win here, but I think Trevor Bayne's just going to run away, slowly chip away at lap time, and just really send it out there. Who's got the fastest lap currently? Fastest lap is Carl Edwards. So Carl Edwards has speed that Trevor Bayne may not have, as David Gilliland goes on the inside of Kurt Busch to try to make a move, but it just doesn't work. At this point, they're losing tires. So moves are going to be a bit harder to make, but Kurt Busch still going to go for it on the inside of Trevor Bayne. But it's really hard to make moves on the inside of turn 1 like that. That's a really difficult thing to do in Darlington with these cars, and just the nature of this circuit, of this oval, of this racetrack. So now the 34, I think now the outside is going to become a bit more of a viable overtaking spot as the laps count down. So now, that outside, that's where you're going to want to take it, as we can see Gilliland tries to take that inside, and it doesn't work out for him either. As Carl Edwards might wrap around the outside. He might wrap it around the outside on David Gilliland. Same goes with Regan Smith on Bobby Labonte, but that just gives Bobby Labonte a chance to catch up to Carl Edwards. That exit speed just isn't there. They've got the entrance speed, sure, but they don't have the exit speed. And with all that dirty air, it's just not helping. The speed is there, for sure, but I think Trevor Bayne's going to run away with a stage win. Just 12 to go in the stage. Bobby Labonte really trying to get 4th place here in the stage. He wants to get capitalized on as many points as he can here on Carl Edwards. Carl Edwards, I think his only shot really is going to have to be capitalizing on pit road if he wants to catch up with Trevor Bayne, because right now he's facing a lot of trouble from other guys. Getting held up by Gilliland, getting slowed down by the 47 of Bobby Labonte, who's really just here for shots and goggles. Now Carl Edwards going to slowly chip back up to the 20, to the 34 there, and then the 22 eventually. There's Montoya and Menard side by side, but Menard just slow off that exit. The exit speed is not there off the inside. It's just not. They don't have it. And so Gilliland looks like he's going to make a major run on Kurt Busch. Giving Carl Edwards a bit of a catch-up day. There. Catch-up deal. And there goes Carl Edwards to the outside. I don't think the tires are quite worn enough yet for any place to be a viable, consistently viable spot for overtaking. But I mean, I feel like the inside is better in turn 3 and 4, and the outside is more superior in turns 1 and 2 for overtaking here. I think Edwards just got to figure that out. Once you figure that out, you'll be set for the rest of the race. This race is about inside and outside, and you need to figure that out. And once you figure that out, you'll be better off in the race. There goes Carl Edwards on the inside of Gilliland this time, not making the same mistake he made before. That's just going to give him a bit of slowdown on the 34 there. And then he's not going to have enough time to make his way back to the outside, so a bit of a missed opportunity for the 99. Which is going to be able to have another chance on him as he tries to go around the outside of Kurt Busch. And he almost does it. I mean, valid move from 34 is he's going to dive down the inside of Kurt Busch. And it's not going to stick. Yeah, that 34, the overtaking here is a bit stagnant in this mid-range tire wear. The outside isn't necessarily viable, but neither is the inside. You kind of just don't know where to go. Yeah. Not for a bit of a segment we haven't had in a while. Time to crank it up. Two to go on the stage. I think Trevor Baynes got it locked up. As they come off of turn 4. Now just 1 to go on the stage.
Okay, bye.
1 to go in stage 1. Sorry about that. Life matters. Yep. Coming off turn 4. I mean, he's got it locked up. Trevor Bayne comes off of turn 4 to take home stage 1 in Darlington. That is 10 points to the number 21 for Wood Brothers. This race should only take around an hour, maybe, if there's no, excessive amounts of cautions like we saw in the past few weeks, the super speedways. Finally, this is the first intermediate race of the season. Not the first real intermediate, though. That title, that's gonna go to, I believe, next week. No. That's gonna go all the way up to Texas, so we still got Bristol next week with the dirt short track. And then we're gonna have Texas with the first regular intermediate race of the season. And I mean, there's a Kurt Busch holdups in the pits means Carl Edwards and David Gilliland move up a spot. Both move up a spot. 22 loses. Yikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places on pit road. Who's second, and now he's 8th, so he lost 7 spots on pit road. One lap to green in Darlington. Carl Edwards is going to try to get a bit of a run here on Trevor Bayne. Trevor Bayne may have a slow start off the restart of stage 2. Come off of turn 4. Here they go to the restart zone. And we're back green in Darlington. And Carl Edwards a slow start compared to Trevor Bayne. There's one Pablo Montoya out of nowhere. He seemed to gain a bit on pit road. He gained against Regan Smith there, among others. But, yeah, David Gilliland moves to the lead. David Gilliland already has a win this season, so it's interesting to see. That was at one of the super speedway races. That was at the Bermuda race. That faced many challenging issues. It was 1v1 versus between him and Kyle Busch. That was literally it. There were the only two cars left in proper contention. Right now, Carl Edwards and Trevor Bayne are going to do everything they can to just keep each other out of that championship fight. I mean, if Edwards has to turn the 21, he might. Here he goes, down the inside. Doesn't work. Early up in these stages, that inside lane isn't going to be a viable spot to overtake, even in 3 and 4. There is no real viable overtaking spot with those fresh tires because that racing line is just so efficient. There really is no grippier spot than that racing line right there. But with Trevor Bayne gaining on the 34, he's clearly the faster car. You know, the 99 and the 21 are clearly the fastest cars out here. They're catching up to that 34 slowly but surely. It's just a matter of who's going to, first of all, is Carl Edwards going to get past the 21 before they get to the 34? And if not, how easily is it going to be to get past the 34? Because, I mean, it's not easy to overtake at Darlington as Carl Edwards slips out of line. And we see that's going to cost him a bit of time. As we see, Trevor Bayne, he gets closer, but the 99 slips a little bit further away. So Trevor Bayne slowly just chipping away at the 34 at Gilliland's lap time, slowly chipping away at his lead until he can finally make the move necessary for the lead again. I think what would add more competition is lap traffic. Slowest car on track right now, it's Marcos Ambrose. In that number 9, Richard Petty Motorsports car. And then is Brian Keselowski, and then Michael Waltrip, among others. You know. And there's Trevor Bayne on the inside. That's not going to stick, though. Is it, though? No, it's not. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what we were talking about earlier, is that racing line is such an efficient place to be early up in that tire life that there's nowhere really else for you to go. I think Carl Edwards is going to make the smart decision to just stay behind the 21 for another lap or 2 or 10 until those tires eventually wear down enough to where they're able to really lock it down here. I mean, but yeah, these three guys are clearly going to be the ones that compete for the win today. Bobby Labonte is completely gone. He's way back behind Bill Elliott, so he's out of contention for that lead entirely. Trevor Bayne, faster than the 34, but he just can't look at that hood cam. It's just hard to make a move. If he slows down, then you gotta slow down too. I mean, slow down for a reason. So I mean, you know, gonna go into this turn, and I think this is just the most. I mean, yeah. Look at this for Trevor Bayne. Or even Carl Edwards. Let's watch it from his perspective. Let's look at Trevor Bayne. Let's take Trevor Bayne's hood cam real quick. And you go wide and you just lose all your speed. But yeah, that means that for a while it's going to be hard to overtake these guys, maybe until the very end of the stage on lap 59. You see Regan Smith going for it on Kyle Busch, but that's just going to lose him some spot. That probably lost him a spot. Kyle Busch probably went wide on him, low-key. There's Kurt Busch on the outside. He's starting to finally make use of that outside lane. I think he's the first one today, all day today to do it. Trying to overtake on the outside, and it actually almost working. But yeah, these tires wear, we see a bit more of this and that stuff. Just overtaking in general, which you wouldn't usually expect. You usually expect the fresh tires to have the most overtaking, but no. The way these cars are set up, and the way this track eats away at those tires, and that racing line exponentially loses efficiency in comparison to other lines. The only reason you stay on it is because those other lines eat away at your tires more, which will eventually lead them to popping, and you don't want that. So, I mean, you got to balance it out. And usually, these drivers like to stay on the racing line and let the other drivers try to overtake them and wear out those tires. But those overtakes are usually successful. So that's the issue, right? As we've got just 18 laps in the stage. Probably more like 17. My apologies. 17 laps to go in the stage. There goes Carl Edwards on the inside of Trevor Bayne. Unbelievable. It's not gonna stick. It's not there. With Trevor Bayne on the inside though, he's gonna look for an overtake on David Gilliland, and that's not gonna stick either. It's just nothing's working. But that's gonna give Edwards another chance to overtake him here into turn 3. Is he going to take it? No, he's going to be light on that throttle. He's going to be gentle on his tires. Juan Pablo Montoya in that Chip Ganassi 42 Chevy Target. Yeah, he's running 4th place. The Formula 1 driver, I mean, you wouldn't expect him to do good in such a different discipline of racing, because I mean, we've seen other open-wheel racers come in and say that stock car racing is a completely different discipline, and it's a completely different skill set. So Montoya coming in and doing this good after coming from an open-wheel background, it's incredible to see. It's a sight. It's surely a sight. Coming back up to Carl Edwards and Trevor Bayne, he almost made that overtake. I think that turn 3 inside line strategy is starting to work a bit more again now, as we've got just 13 laps to go in this stage. And that's 50 laps to go in the race. Now 49 laps to go in the race. And just 11 laps left in the stage. I think if there's anyone... Yeah, I think Gilliland's got this on lock. This stage here. But I mean, if Trevor Bayne can have a good restart, or if Gilliland just looks, you know, has a bad pit road stop, and these two can get ahead, that's going to be a wonderful front row start, and that's going to treat us to something incredible. Me personally, I'm rooting for Carl Edwards. He's my favorite guy out of the three. I think he can really take home something special today and throughout the rest of the year. I think if anyone's going to have the most wins, it'll be him. And I'm really hoping he takes home that title. 3 Ford Fusions, though, lead the race. It's very clear. The Ford Fusions are the fastest bunch currently. Those Fords for Chip Ganassi, front row, and Wood Brothers. But Carl Edwards slipping back out of the draft a bit. That one move cost him quite a lot. as Trevor Bayne comes up on the 34. Trevor Bayne is faster than Gilliland, make no mistake. But here they go, down side by side. Gilliland still stays ahead. It's just hard to make that pass on the inside. Yeah, I don't think there's any hope of Carl Edwards getting that stage win here unless those two ahead of him wreck. But yeah. Breaking character real quick. I've got work to do on this track for the cup race. I mean, I've got tomorrow free because I'm not recording tomorrow. Streaming tomorrow because of all those races happening, but I'm going to work on this track. I'm going to change some numbers in that track INI file and those configuration settings, and I'm going to make sure the cup race goes off much better than this, because this is really boring. This is not a great race. All this stuff about tires and all that jargon, just not having it. Back in character, welcome back to Darlington. Don't know what that was, excuse me, but there's Marcos Ambrose and Ryan Keselowski, the first lap traffic of the day. Let's see how the 34 deals with it. Will he go outside? Will he go inside? Where will Marcos Ambrose let him by? He goes down the inside and just flies by both of them in one move. Unbelievable. Crazy move by David Gilliland there. Whereas the 21, Trevor Bayne, remains trapped with both of them, giving Carl Edwards a chance to catch up. And at this point, though, it doesn't matter that they get past a lap traffic. It just matters that they hold those positions because, I mean, they don't want to wreck trying to get even. They don't want to wreck trying to get past Ambrose or past Keselowski, who Ambrose is being incredibly slow, almost on purpose. It looks like. But yeah, Trevor Bayne gets past. Marcos Ambrose not necessarily being the greatest sportsman. Not having the greatest sportsmanship in terms of being lapped traffic. As Trevor Bayne gets held up behind in the 92. Bringing Carl Edwards right back up his bumper. Now, depending where the 92 goes, Carl Edwards might be able to get past Trevor Bayne here. As they're side by side, 3 wide for a moment. As well as Gilliland already dealing with other lap traffic. That's Kevin Harvick and Michael Waltrip. But yeah, these guys definitely slowing that 34 down when he's just trying to get that stage win. So he's going to go send it around that Michael Waltrip Racing, number 15 Chevy Napa Toyota. Chevy Napa Toyota. Sorry, I'm too used to Chase Elliott's Napa Chevy. But yeah. But yeah. That 34's got the stage out on a lock. Trevor Bayne got second place, pretty much hunkered down. Unless that 29, Kevin Harvick, is slowing him down. Which makes Carl Edwards faster than Kevin Harvick. And I don't know what Edwards is doing here. I think he just kind of got set on his line, and now he's stuck behind that 29 for about half a lap longer than he'd like to be. 21's going to get past Michael Waltrip. 99's going to get past Kevin Harvick. I think when you've got a lead in one of these races here in Darlington, I think that's just like game over. You've got that win. 1 lap to go on the stage for David Gilliland, who's pretty much got it. As long as he doesn't screw up here in turn 3. What's going on? What's he doing? What? No way! Oh my god, David Gilliland is coming down pit road. Caution is out, which means Trevor Payne takes home stage 2 after a questionable strategy call from the 34 team. That's just, wow. The 34 actually just lost all his contention for a win. What kind of a strategy call was that? What is this crew chief doing? I'd like to see if this is just a regular stop or if they've really got a problem. And there goes 2 tires. Zoot, 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 zoot. Zoot, 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 zoot. It was just a routine stop. What was that about? So, the rest of these guys now coming down pit road. So, David Gilliland will be last of the non-lapped cars. So, he'll be the last car on that lead lap. But he actually that might have actually been a good strategy call. Staying out, going in last lap, and then coming back in might have just locked him up first place. Yeah, because he's on the lead lap. Was this a master call from the 34 team? Was this masterclass from David Gilliland's team? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. That might have just been masterclass from the 34 team. What is happening with this 34 car? Are they calling him down again? I doubt it. I don't believe it. Not for a second. They're not calling him down. They called him back down. They called the 34 back down to pit road. I don't believe it. I really don't. What is this crew chief doing? And it's just going to be another routine stop, I think. That was almost masterclass. Why are they stopping? They changed their right side tires. Oh my god, they changed their freaking right side tires. All of that, they lost every spot in the grid just to have slightly fresher right side tires. That's not a comeback. That you can't come back from that. Terrible move by the terrible calls by the 34 team. But that gives us a bit of a thriller here. Potential for a thriller, at least. As Carl Edwards and Trevor Bayne line up side by side. No more struggle of hold up from the 34. That is... Wow. Oh my god. Yeah, you know, he's definitely going to look for a new crew chief. Unbelievable. That's just ridiculous. I don't know. Let's tune into the 34's radio real quick. See what they've got to say about that.
Every fucking week! Fuck, I hate my fucking job!
Alright, man, cool down. Let's finish and get some points here, damn it.
Ugh, he's not looking too happy about that call by his crew chief. So, we'll see about that. But that's the least of our concerns right now. I feel sorry for him, really. I mean, look how far back he is. Regardless, looking back on the front stretch with the front row, Carl Edwards and Trevor Bayne line up side by side on the front stretch as we're back green in Darlington. As Carl Edwards gets the better start off here. But Trevor Bayne still keeping close by to the 99. For the race win here in Darlington. He's trying to go down the inside. He's going down the inside. Unbelievable. Trevor Bayne putting up a real challenge to Carl Edwards. Carl Edwards barely on that front row, mostly because of luck. Trevor Bayne has fought his way up. He qualified on the front row, stayed up there all race long. Carl Edwards qualified around 6th. When we look at their qualifying results, Carl Edwards qualified 5th. Carl Edwards he's not going to do the same thing that Trevor Bayne just did on him. Instead, he's going to try to go around the outside. Not going to work early on in the stage. It's just not going to. Let's look at the 34 car, though. How far has he gone up already? Where's the 34? There he is. He's already getting past a bunch of guys, but I mean, he's just not got much room. There's still double file up there, back there. So yeah, up here, back in the front of the field, Montoya now top 3 with Gilliland out of contention. Unless some sort of wild caution comes out towards the end of this race, or just something happens. I don't know why they were calling down twice. That could have been masterclass, but they called him down on the last lap of the stage, handing the stage away. Which would have been understandable because they're trying to get race points over stage points. But then they call him back down again for fresher tires? It just doesn't make sense in my mind. At 99, Carl Edwards looking to make a move on the 21, but he's just struggling. I think the 21 being a bit more aggressive than that 99. He's running it closer to the wall. He's running it further, like, more stable on the racetrack. He's not afraid to run it close to the wall, and the 99 is really clearly seeing. Yeah, that 99 is scared to hit the 21. He's a clean guy. Carl Edwards has always been a great guy on the racetrack. He's never been angry or, disrespectful to any driver. He's always been calm and collected no matter his emotions, no matter his angers. A trait that I envy, really, of him. But yeah, the 99 just struggling to catch up with that 21. We might see another sweep here. I mean, 3 swept races in a row would be crazy. J.J. Yaley just a couple days ago in Atlanta. And then the next day, Alex Bowman. And then now today, we might see Trevor Bayne sweep the race. Right? Because he did take stage 1, right? Yeah, he took all 3 stages today. So, unbelievable. Trevor Bayne may be the 3rd driver in a row to sweep a race in HAZCAR. That'll be a feat that might be hard to ever match again with ever-changing packages and cars and just, tracks as well. Look at Gilliland making a run up this field. Where is he placed right now? He's about to break into the top 20 already. Maybe he can come back and win this. Maybe that call was a good decision. So we've got just, what is that? 19 to go. Yeah. Now just 18 to 19, 18 to go. As we've got just 14 to go. As we've got just 12 to go. Trevor Bayne's got it down. I mean, Carl Edwards, amazing effort from him. But for, what is it, the third week in a row, he's cheated out of a win. For whatever reason, at least the second week in a row, he's going to come runner-up. But yeah, Carl Edwards, just nothing he can do. Time to go in Darlington, not Daytona, Darlington. Words. So yeah, Gilliland will get some stage points. I think he'll get, what, 9 points for that first stage, but that's it. He's not going to get very many points for this race. Ugh, he's 17th. Unbelievable. He's going to get, what is that? How many points is that? I don't even know. Where is he? He's around the 77 and others. He's just behind the 22. Getting past the 33 now. Yeah, he's passing everyone. I'll be shocked if he can get into a top 10. Let's focus on David Gilliland for these last couple laps here until round 2 to go. I'm intrigued now. If he can get a top 10 finish in this race, that would be incredible. That'd be the best comeback performance I think we've ever seen. Wins in Bermuda after being one of the lucky few not to get stuck on pit road, and then comes back in Darlington from a last place start. It comes back in one stage to get a top 10 finish. I guess we'll keep the standings for the lead to keep track of Carl Edwards and Trevor Bayne. But yeah, Carl Edwards is just slipping away from the 21. Or should I say the 21 is pulling away from the 99. But yeah. Caution-free race if we ignore the stage cautions. That's great. Finally, a caution-free race, clean racing, simple racing here in Darlington. Exciting racing for what it is. I think Gilliland's struggling. I think he's found around his spot where he's going to settle down. I don't think he's going to get much further than that 33 of Clint Boyer with the way these guys are packed up. That 43 and that 22 and that 6. I just don't think he's getting much further than this. Maybe 1 or 2 more spots up, but that's about it. That's all he's getting. As that 91 is now, or that 99 is now a second short of Trevor Bayne. Let's just say there's little hope for the number 99. 34, still not around the 43, still not around the 22. Yeah, that 34 stuck. Coming back to Trevor Bayne. Oh, he got close. He's coming back up on him. Unbelievable. Is this... Could it be? Late race pit runs. They're being called down by their crew chiefs down into pit road. Multiple guys. If I'm not mistaken, that's going to be multiple guys down pit road. Not just Trevor Bayne. Unbelievable. Pit stops with just a few laps to go. Let's keep track on Carl Edwards here. I think he's going to be in this lap. If not next lap, but either way, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, next lap, Carl Edwards should be in. Why would they call him in so late in the race? This could be a strategy move, though, because all these other guys, they're also going to try it. Here we go. Here's some more guys coming down to pit road. That's Tony Stewart down pit road. I think they're going to start pitting right here with 2 to go. Does that include Carl Edwards? Would this include Carl Edwards? No. I think they binned it. I think Trevor Bain's crew took too dangerous of a gamble. I think they binned the entire race. White flag, 1 left to go in Darlington, as Carl Edwards is presumably going to stretch out his tires all the way to the end. Darlington's a rough track, and you got to know when to pit and when not to pit. 21 spent too much of his time trying to get around lap traffic instead of defending from the 99 like he should have. And here it is. I mean, coming off of turn 4, Carl Edwards will come to the line and take his first win of the season. Heartbreak for Trevor Bain. It could have had the third swept race in a row and his first win of the season. His first swept race. Unbelievable. Carl Edwards wins in Darlington. Great job. Where is he now? He's headed down pit road. Unbelievable stretch of the tires. Just incredible strategy there. But yeah. Great job by the 99 crew today. Started 5th. Brought it to a win. Where did David Gilliland finish? 12th place. A top 15 finish from last place. Only a few more laps would have been needed for him to grab that elusive top 10. But alas. Trevor Bain misses out on top 5 and top 10 will win. And just a couple extra laps led. Honestly, shame on these crews today. A lot of bad decisions by multiple crews. You saw Tony Stewart also came down late in the race. Anyway, that'll be it for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning into HAZCAR again. As we move on to the Cup race, Monday. No, Tuesday. Someday this week. Tune in then.